I have a podcast. Podcast! Wow, Christian, what an achievement. Thank you. It is an achievement. The link to download episodes is in the comments. One for iTunes, one for Android. Feel free to listen to 20 minutes of absolute utter shit. I have an obsession with the news. I've always wanted to be a newsreader. And I was offered by a friend who used to work for the ABC News if I'd like to go in and watch the news happen live on TV. And of course, I jumped at the chance. So I go into the control room, I see the news happening, and I then go into the studio and everything's great. She then takes me back into the control room. Now, it's about 20 past 7 at night. And the news will finish at 7:30, and then a program called the 7:30 Report, hosted by Kerry O'Brien, will kick in. Now, it's a very political minded show, and I was just going to watch the handover and the timing out of the news, and then it would go into the 7:30 Report. Now, what I actually witnessed was the most incredible piece of production I've ever seen. So slick, so smooth. So it's 20 past 7 and the news is happening over here. Now, in Studio A is the news, and in Studio B is Kerry O'Brien getting ready to present the 7:30 Report. So he's sitting there. Now, on the show that night, he's going to have the Prime Minister, John Howard, and Peter Cosgrove, who's over in East Timor. Now, John Howard is the first guest on the show, and Peter Cosgrove is the second. Now, it's all happening live. It gets to 7:22, and Kerry O'Brien says that he wants to talk to Peter Cosgrove first so he can get all the information that he needs when he talks to the Prime Minister about what's happening in East Timor. Now, logistically, this can't happen live on air due to scheduling and the Prime Minister being on a tight deadline. So what they decide to do is pre-record the interview with Peter Cosgrove over in East Timor first. A little bit confusing, but stick with me. So it's now 7:23. They've got the satellite link ready to go, and they're ready to launch into this pre-recorded interview before 7:30 the show kicks in. They're having a bit of technical difficulties because the microphone and the earpiece in East Timor for Peter Cosgrove isn't really working. So 7:24 rolls around. They're frantically trying to make sure that this link up is working. 7:25 happens. They've got 5 minutes before the show goes live. They finally get everything connected, and Kerry O'Brien launches into his interview with Peter Cosgrove. So they're going on. So this interview's happening, and the producing team are all sitting in this control room, which is where I was. And it gets to 7:28, they're still doing the interview. 7:29, they're still doing the interview. It gets to 7:30, so there's 60 seconds before the show is going live across Australia. Now, you hear the executive producer sort of in Kerry's ear go, 60 seconds, Kerry. And so he's still talking. 30 seconds, Kerry, still going. Now I'm standing there going, oh my God. You know, there's 30 seconds till you're on air. Why are you still talking? 15 seconds, Kerry, still talking, right? 10 seconds, still going. 5, 4, cueing opener. The opener fires off. So the show started. So they've got, everything's happening. The opener, okay, 7 seconds till we're live, Kerry. They're still talking. Oh my God, it's so stressful. At about 5 seconds before the camera is physically on Kerry, he goes, Peter Cosgrove, thank you so much for your time, much appreciated. So that's happening, right? With literally, as he says these words, he finishes the interview, he looks dead at the camera and goes, good evening, I'm Kerry O'Brien. Tonight, John Howard. What just happened? I've never seen a more slick operation in my life. In my mind, that's exactly what happened. It's exactly what happened. Could have been a bit different. But I just remember watching it all happen and just losing my shit. Like, I just couldn't believe... What a pro. What a bloody legend. You can subscribe to the podcast, which is 1000% nowhere near as professional as Kerry O'Brien. In fact, it's 0% professional.